The latest Pompey news, updates every day from the Pompey Sound news desk.
We begin today's Pompey Sound news bulletin with something slightly different, a competition. It's a football type competition, and it's this. I recently sent off for a replacement set of FIFA red and yellow cards. They're very handy to have in the car in case you see somebody driving not so well, maybe cycling not so well, maybe even crossing over in front of you and making you slow down, and so they're pedestrianising not very well. You need somebody else in the car with you to do this. You can't do it yourself. You probably could, but it might attract the attention of the law because you might not be driving with your full care and attention. But if you see somebody who needs a yellow card or a red card, okay, and you've got somebody in the car with them, you tell them, wind your window down and brandish the yellow. And when it happens, I promise you, everybody falls about. And it's a joke well made and well taken, but nevertheless a point comes across. So I've got in front of me a plastic leatherette black wallet, which has got a pencil and a sleeve and some forms that you fill in at the end of the game with the team's name and their colours, the score, and details of any player who was cautioned or dismissed. But most of all, you get an authentic, solid, waterproof yellow card, the right size and shape, of course, and ditto a red card. Now, I sent off for one of these, but as sometimes happens, I got charged for one, but I received four. So I've got three outstanding. So I'm giving away 3 sets of FIFA red and yellow cards to a Pompey Sound news bulletin podcast or streaming listener. All you have to do is send me an email to the studio at radiopompey@gmail.com and we'll have a little prize draw. So if you want in and you fancy having yourself an authentic set of FIFA red and yellow cards, nice little talking point, you can take it down the pub. And if you don't like what somebody's saying, you don't say, I disagree with you, you pull out a yellow. And if they do it again, they second yellow and they're out. They're off. It's a nice little joke. It really works every single time. And you can have it. So the first 3 out of the hat. And if you want to be in the hat, just send me an email saying, I want to be in the hat for the cards. It's Radio Pompey, one word, of course, at gmail.com.
Former Portsmouth defender Nathan Thompson has been reflecting on Pompey's attacking issues during their 1-0 loss to Hull City on Saturday, and thinks the problem lies with positioning. When you were seeing the ball going wide, the bodies in the box, it tended to be just Colby Bishop in there, Thompson told BBC Radio. That becomes very easy as a defender to mark if you've only got one guy to worry about. When you are getting in the wide areas, you need bodies in the box, and that just wasn't happening on Saturday. The loss means the gap between Portsmouth and the relegation zone remains a nerve-wracking 5 points. However, Thompson is not worried about the side's potential for survival. The manager will be disappointed from Saturday, but ultimately he will go, there's certain stuff we can work with here that will give us a real chance, he said. 2 weeks ago, the back-to-back wins gave them a really good opportunity in many ways.
Couple of points here. First of all, that was part of a broadcast, I think they call it's a podcast, I think, the one that they call Who Needs Mourinho. So a couple of points. First of all, on Who Needs Mourinho, did you know, and I only found this out on Saturday, that is a chant which was begun 20 years ago when he started playing for Brentford, because Brentford and Chelsea, well, Brentford obviously looking upwards a lot, but nevertheless were jealous of Chelsea, and there was a kind of a rivalry there. So they started chanting when John started playing for them, who needs Mourinho? We've got Mousinho. So that's the first thing. The second thing, and this is the most important thing, is that Nathan Thompson's absolutely right. And it brings us back to Jose Mourinho, because Jose Mourinho is famous for saying, everybody who's played for him says the same thing. When you have the ball and you are getting into a dangerous area, especially on the wing or in the channel, or maybe just coming through towards the penalty areas D, and you're starting to look threatening, he said, I must have a minimum of 4 players in the box. 4 players in the box. And just like Nathan Thompson, I found myself shouting against Hull that there was only one person in the box every time we were going down the flanks. Okay, Ali and then Blair and then Caballero, I beg your pardon, were unable to get the ball into meaningful areas, but they didn't have enough blue shirts to aim at in the box. If you've got 4 players in the box threatening, so that wherever the ball goes, and often as it comes in, it's not going to be a complete clearance, it's going to bobble somewhere, and there was plenty of that, and it was always picked up and cleared by a Hull player because the ratio was Colby Bishop versus 4 or 5 yellow shirts. So Nathan Thompson, 10 out of 10 on your observation. We need bodies in the box.
One of Pompey's 2 Luton loanees, Alli, is asked about his future and if Pompey might be part of it.
My future? That's a big question. Where? When? How? Close future or far future? My future at Pompey is right now. I'm on loan here until the end of the season. However that may look come the start of next season, we'll have to cross that bridge once it gets there. Of course it's something you always think about, but you can only focus on now and try to do the best job you can do now. Whatever happens, God willing, we'll see from there. I don't know what Luton think, I haven't had any of those conversations. We're going to find out what they have planned for me. It's fantastic here, I love it here, it feels like I'm at home. I have been treated very well since I've come here. I get along with the players very well, I have gelled with everyone, I've got a great understanding with the team as well, I love the fans. It has been very good since I've been here. You have to always focus on the football, and deal with every game as they come, and give 100%. I have 3 years left at Luton. It's not simple, you never know what happens tomorrow, so we'll see.
The clamour for Ali to become a permanent Pompey player have got louder and louder with his performances, and now they've reached a crescendo as a result of the news about Josh Murphy, out for the season, hopefully back next season, but in need of cover. And Ali is somebody who presumably could function just as well on the right, he being a right-footed player, as on the left, and that would be a potent wing pair, Murphy on the left and Ali on the right. So all that stands in the way is, first of all, his agreement, secondly, Luton's agreement, and thirdly, the Eisner's agreement to write however big a cheque would be required. He's got 3 years left, as he says, on his Luton contract, as big a cheque as is required to bring him here on a permanent basis.
3 p.m. kickoffs were already as rare as hen's teeth for Pompey, and that was before today's announcement by Sky that our home game against Oxford on Easter Monday has been brought forward to 12:30 p.m. Oxford have been chosen to be televised on both their Easter weekend fixtures, but their home game against Hull remains a 3 p.m. kickoff. The April 6th clash at Fratton Park, which could have a crucial bearing on the relegation battle, follows Pompey's Good Friday trip to Norwich.
Trying to be clear about this, that game could have been played at 3 o'clock in the afternoon because it's happening on a Monday. It's only Saturday 3 o'clock kickoffs that are supposed not to be televised. But obviously Sky wanted some good game options for viewers around the world at 12:30 in the morning and as well at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we got picked as being one of those that they wanted to have scheduled at 12:30 in order to satisfy television's needs, pure and simple. But on to the kick-off thing. For Pompey, we've got 5 home games left, not counting Ipswich. And we're playing Swansea at 7:45 on a Tuesday, Derby at 8 p.m. on a Monday, Oxford now at 12:30 on a Monday, Leicester at 3 o'clock. The only 3 o'clock Fratton Park kickoff we've got left is against Leicester on Saturday the 18th of April. And then our final game of the season, as has been scheduled all along, is a 12:30 kickoff against Birmingham. So this is 11 games between the 7th of March and the 2nd of May, 12 counting the rescheduled Ipswich game whenever they're going to fit that in. So besides everything else that Pompey have got on their plate, a very complex run-in through the final part of the season has been scheduled largely by TV.